What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is September 3rd. We are back with another video, inching ever so close to that elusive NFL kickoff, which is Thursday night. We're very excited about it, so if you have not already checked it out, we are already starting to roll out information for you guys for the NFL season. So we've already got the over-unders going right now. The articles are going to start rolling out for the rankings, so get ready, get set, and get pumped for all of that in the next couple of days. We're very excited, but you guys are here for baseball. We're going to continue to pump out baseball. If you've never been here before, we go through the games. We look at the games, we look at the pitchers, we look at the batters in those games using Outlier.bet, which are our sponsor here. So if you have not already checked them out, we are going to talk about that. So all of our links to social media are down below. The merch you can buy there. Also, if you can't purchase the merch or FTA Plus, helping out the channel by clicking on the ads helps way more than you even know. So, that being said, any questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us or hit us up on Discord. All of the links are down below. We also have giveaways every single day. The first giveaway, all you got to do, like this video, be a YouTube subscriber, and leave a comment. If your comment is picked, you will have a chance to win. Now, if there's 50 likes on the video, you have a chance to win a free week. If there's 100 likes on the video, a chance at a free month. 150 more likes on this video, a chance at a $200 free year. And 200 or more likes, you have a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. Now, the second way to do it. Normally, we have a keyword and we give away a free week. But Outlier has graciously given us 5 passes to a monthly pass. And this is the 5th and final day. So, all you got to do is listen for the keyword, some sort of keyword that I'm going to give out in this video. Type that keyword in there and have a chance at a free month of Outlier.bet. So, that being said, we are 90, as of the making of this video, I think we are 93 YouTube subscribers away from 10,000. It's a huge mark. I couldn't do it without you guys. If we can hit that before kickoff on Thursday night, we're going to give away two lifetime passes, which is $1,000 value, $500 a piece. So if you guys could help us out, let's get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers before Thursday night at, I think, 7:15 Central. So I know we can do it. I need your guys' help. Let's rock and roll. So there's an little bit of early slate here. We're not going to cover them. So it's the White Sox at the Orioles. You got Nick Nastrini versus Cade Povich. I don't like either of these. I would rather go with Baltimore bats, just like we did on, just like we did for yesterday. Didn't like the White Sox, like Corbin Burns and Baltimore. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at pitching in this one. I am looking at Baltimore bats. Nationals at the Marlins. You got Patrick Corbin versus Max Meyer. I would probably... Corbin's had 2 great games in a row, which is the first time he's won 2 games since either April or August of last year. He has a good matchup here. I don't know if I trust him enough, though. He's still one of the worst pitchers in the league. He's been bad. So I'm probably off of them. I kind of would like the bats in this one. I think I like... probably like Washington bats a little bit more, but there are certain bats like Sanchez, Jake Berger, Norby that we could use for Miami and feel comfortable with. Then you've got the Twins at the Rays, David Festa versus Jeffrey Springs. Again, normally the Twins hit lefties better, so I would look at some of the Twins bats there. I don't trust Springs. I really don't trust Festa, but in tournaments I'm okay with Festa just because of how bad Tampa Bay's offense is. Then that brings us to the main slate. First game on the main slate, Philly at Toronto. Now, some of these pitchers are not 100% confirmed yet. So once they are confirmed, we will update any of our projections. We'll update any of our simulations. So at the end of this video, or towards the end of this video, we're going to give you our Pitches Be Crazy segment. And what that is we go over the top 5 pitchers on today's slate that have the best matchups against teams that strike out the most. We call that Pitches Be Crazy. And then right at the end, right before the end of this video, we've done early simulations. We're going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through early simulations. So stick around for those, and we will update the simulations throughout the day as well. You can find everything on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. $10 for a week. Go check it out if you guys want to sign up. We're also going to have a promo code drop for the start of the NFL season. Now, that promo code is going to drop tomorrow. So my suggestion is subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the bell notification, join the Discord so you guys know when all of that goes live. We're going to tweet it out. We're going to put it in tomorrow's video as well. So be on the lookout for that. There's going to be limited time coupons in that. There's not going to be very many coupons for you. So if you guys are interested, listen for it because it is a yearly pass. And a normal yearly pass is $200. I'm going to let you know right now it's going to be less than $200. So that being said, you guys are here. We're checking everything out. If this video is a little bit too long for you, check out everything we have on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. We summarize a little bit more, so go check that out. So we've got Chris Bassett versus Tyler Phillips. So Bassett comes into this game, 4.27 ERA. It is up there. Game log-wise, he's coming off a good game against Boston, and then some stinkers here as well. Going up against Philly, he's already faced them once this year. He's actually had success against them. 6.1 innings, 3 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. That's good for 23.3 fantasy points, and on DraftKings, that's exactly what you need. You need 20 plus out of your pitcher at any given time. Now, Philly's a great team. I don't know what happened in that game. I don't know if anyone was out. His strikeout stuff was on as well. He had 17 whiffs last game, so swings and misses with 9 Ks. A huge game because Boston, they do strike out third most out of any team. Now, Philly, if we look at what Philly does, Philly strikes out 17th out of every team. Strike out 8.36 times per game. When Philly are on the road, they strike out 8.92. So they strike out more on the road. So you could look at that, and Schwarber's a big component of that. So Bassett at 7,400, I do not mind. Flip side of that, Tyler Phillips against Toronto. They just recalled him. Really hasn't done much. Negative here. A huge game against Cleveland. Good game against Pittsburgh. Then a negative against Seattle. Not much against the Dodgers. Not much against Miami. Splits-wise, yeah, we don't have much going against him. He is a right-handed pitcher as well, and this is where Outlier comes in handy. We break it down. So this is why I love it. So the link to Outlier is down below. You guys can sign up. If you sign up to Outlier, you check out everything they have to offer. They have a regular package for $20 a month. You get a 7-day free trial. If you use our link and you pay after the 7 days, we're going to give you a free month. If you go to the Pro package, which is $130, go through the 7-day free trial and pay, and use our link and show us that you used our link, we are going to give you 3 months free, which is a $90 value. And we absolutely love what Outlier brings to the table. Ton of different websites combined into one. You've got BVP, you've got batter splits, you've got props, and you can make your bets that you want. You add it to your bet slip right here. You click on your bet slip, whatever sport book you want to go to, and then once you have it and you add a bet to it, you can click right here. There'll be a button. It'll take you directly out to that sports book, and it'll help you bring home the bacon just like us. So if you aren't using Chris Bassett, who's already had success against them, and you want to go, and this shows BVP, so 1 home run, Nick Castellanos has a home run. If you want to see how the team does against right-handed pitching, for the most part, you can see on the screen right here, there's more red than green, meaning they hit lefties better than righties. And you can see Stubbs, 27.3 strikeout percentage, 29.6, 25.9, 19.6, 31.7, 25.9. These are very high strikeout percentages for these batters. They don't hit righties well. If you were to go with them, obviously Schwarber has 18 bombs, but he's batting 193 against righties. You got Harper with 18 bombs, batting 277. You've got Castellanos with 10 home runs, Brandon Marsh with 14. You've got some of these bats at Bryson Stott, who bats better against righties and lefties and has 9 bombs, 39 RBIs, and a low 14.2 K percentage. So if you want to go with some of those bats, I get that. But Chris Bassett could be in store for a good game against a team that does not hit righties very well. Then we look at Philly, never faced Tyler Phillips before. They hit righties better. I would look, Vladdy doesn't hit righties better, but still batting 323 against them with 21 bombs. Horwitz at 283 batting average. I love George Springer leading off. He's got 16 bombs there. Varsho only batting 198, so more of a boomer bust pick, but he has 14 home runs as well. Ernie Clement might be a sneakier option, possibly even Alejandro Kirk as well. So if I'm taking a pitcher in this game, it's definitely Bassett over Phillips. That's probably it. Maybe. I do like the bats in this one. For Toronto, a little bit more than Philly, but we know that Philly's a great hitting team. So if Bassett is off just a little bit, Toronto or Philly's probably hitting really well. Boston at the Mets is the next game. You got Cutter Crawford on the road versus David Peterson. Crawford started off very, very well. He's kind of Slowed down lately. He hasn't really had a good game since July 13th at Kansas City. Had a good stretch of 3 games there. It's been a minute since he's had a good game. Back-to-back Toronto games didn't do very well. He didn't give up very many runs, but the strikeouts weren't there. Strikeouts have been low. He had a game against Toronto. Something must have been a weather thing there. But then you look at this. Him on the road at 4.19 ERA. He has not faced the Mets before. This is a pitcher's park. But honestly, at 7,500, he's not getting the fantasy points that we need. And then David Peterson, on the other hand, has a 2.83 ERA. Couple of down games, but his price, it is up to 8,000. He has not faced Boston this year, but he has the 3rd best matchup via pitches be crazy because Boston strikes out the 3rd most. My problem is he's not a huge strikeout guy. He's got 4.2, does have an 8 there. He got 4.5, 4.74 against the Yankees back on, when was that? He had 8 strikeouts against the Yankees back in June. But Boston strikes out. So this could be a sneaky option. I don't think a lot of people will be on. It is a massive ballpark as well. So if you want to see the ballpark factors, you want to see the projected home runs, all of that is listed in the Discord. So you make sure you get down in there. All of the juicy content is down there. All the links, everything is there. If you have questions, you can always email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. But you know what I did forget to do? I forgot to have the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway real quick. Let's have both of the giveaways. So this will be just for having over 50 likes in yesterday's video. This will be the first one. And you can come back the next day, and the next day, and win. LG5295, congratulations yet again. You win another pass to FTA Plus. Not to Outlier, but to FTA Plus. Now, the keyword yesterday was outlier, all 3 words. Now, I'm going to rerun this. He could win again, but not necessarily. So LG, congratulations yet again. Won another week. You just won yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. But the more you guys come back and leave comments, the more chances you have to win. So this will be for the free month of FTA or Outlier, and it's random. Chris Hughes, congratulations. Email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. What you need to do is the link is down below, but you need to sign up to Outlier using our link. And when you get to the credit card screen, email me. Do not put your credit card information in there. Once you've entered your email using our link, I can go out to the CEO of Outlier. I can say, hey, this email won, and they will grant you your free month. So do not put your credit card information in, but email me to let me know you won, and then if you've signed up yet. So congratulations to both of you. Come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I know LG will, because he comments every day, which we appreciate more than you guys know. So we look at the rest of this. David Peterson for tournaments, I'm okay with. I don't love, but Boston, they do strike out enough where I'm okay with this. Probably off of Cutter Crawford, though. I just don't trust him enough. So we can look at the bats real quick. And again, I absolutely love what Outlier brings to the table. You can see if they've had success. You can see BVP. You can see everything. So Boston bats, really haven't seen them much. Casas is 1 for 1. Devers is, I assume that's 4 for 7. Duran, nothing there. So that is what we have. So Boston bats, I don't mind. Devers, Duran. So just to look, if I'm taking Boston bats against a lefty, they don't do very well. Or like they hit righties better. But you see Tyler O'Neill hits lefties better. 306, 11 home runs. Ref Snyder would be a cheap option if he's in there batting 284 with 6 bombs. Connor Wong batting 295 with 5 bombs. Like, these are all the names you wouldn't be thinking of, because you're going Jarren Duran, you're going Rafi Devers. So you can go those big names, but find the value in this as well. Then Mets against Cutter Crawford. I mean, Brandon Nimmo has a home run, but that's it for home runs. Against righties, though, you are looking at Alonso with 21 bombs. Got Alvarez with 4 home runs, batting 237. Jesse Winker batting 282 with 12 bombs. Nimmo has 14 home runs. Mark Vientos batting 251 with 15 bombs. I don't mind them if you are stacking, if you're going to go ahead and stack against both of these pitchers. Now, David Peterson for maybe sports bets or just pitching bets, I'm okay with that. Just depends on who you're looking at. DFS, tournament only is where I would go with that one. There are great pitching options on the slate. Just these first 2 games, not the biggest ones. Then we get to the good ones. You got Chris Sale now. He is expensive. He's $10,800. They have dropped his price because I want to say last time he was 11. He was 11,000. So they dropped his price down. Very up and down. Does get to go up against Colorado. Colorado strikes out the second most out of any team. His strikeouts have been down the past couple of games, though. 6 and 7 innings against Minnesota and Washington. Not faced Colorado this year. I'm trying to see in his career-wise, he's only faced 7 plate appearances of this Colorado team. So really hasn't seen him. They've dropped his price to $10,800. He's, I believe, leads the majors, or at least the NL in ERA and strikeouts. We'll get over 200 strikeouts this game. I love Chris Sale here. Problem is that every time we've used a pitcher over 10,000 on DraftKings this year, I would say 98% of the time it has not worked out. But he does have a good matchup here against Colorado, and then we can dig in. We can see how they do against left-handed pitching. Now it's not normal left-handed pitching because it's Chris Sale. He's a set 15-3 record, dominant this year. Too bad that he couldn't do this for the Red Sox last year or the past few years. But yeah, Colorado against Chris Sale, nothing. Colorado against left-handed pitching, like Jacob Stallings batting .290, 5 home runs. McMahon has 6 home runs. You've got Tovar with 7. Like, not huge. I don't mind Chris Sale here, although he is very expensive. And then you got Kyle Freeland going up. Kyle Freeland, man, game log wise, did decent against Miami his last start. Been up and down, but he's got 5.51 ERA. He's already faced Atlanta once this year. Only lasted 3.2 innings, 1 strikeout, 3 earned runs in that game. I've got to fade Freeland here and go Atlanta bats. It just depends. But yeah, so against him, he's given up a home run to Ozuna, Arcia, Matt Olson, and Jorge Soler, and also Travis d'Arnaud. Then you look at the bats that have success for Atlanta against left-handed pitching. That is Travis d'Arnaud with 6 bombs, batting .262. Ozuna batting .317 with 5 bombs against left-handed pitching. Olson batting .268 with 9 home runs. Duvall has 8 home runs, would be a cheap outfield option. Laureano batting .308 with 5 bombs would be a cheap option. Soler, if he's in there, .252 batting average with 5 bombs as well. So I'm not using Freeland. I am using Chris Sale. I am using Atlanta bats as a stack here. I'm not looking at Colorado bats as a stack. Then we've got Paul Skeens versus Justin Steele. So problem with Skeens, game log wise, they're limiting him. Not necessarily, so you can see the past couple of starts, less than 90 pitches. He just faced this team his last start, 15.7, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and then the bullpen gave up a ton of runs. My problem is they are limiting his pitches, or his innings, probably moving forward. That's the problem, though. Stated Pirates general manager Ben Cherington stated last week that Skeens is on an unspecified innings limit, making his workload difficult to project. Which, yeah, that's the thing. Like, he has a good matchup. Did not do well here. If he wasn't shaky, we've got a lot to like about him. I don't know if we can pay that high because we don't know how long he's going to go into this game. So be aware of that. Then you got Justin Steele coming in. Just faced this exact same team. 5 innings, 6 Ks, 18.5. He's faced him 3 times this year, but has given up 12 earned runs, 7.36 ERA overall. So he is expensive as well. So we could look at that and just kind of... I don't know if I want to use pitching in this one because Steele, while he did well against him his last start, it is in Wrigley. The wind is blowing. The wind could be blowing out. I'm scared to use him a little bit. So Pirates bats that have had success against him, like Nick Gonzalez has a home run by about 125. Connor Joe batting 467. You do have Michael Taylor with a home run, Brian Reynolds with a home run. But then we look at the bats against lefties. Henry Davis batting 273. Nick Gonzalez batting 288. Connor Joe batting 248 with 3 bombs. Brian De La Cruz batting 281 with 4 home runs. You got Brian Reynolds batting 276 with 5 bombs. McCutchen batting 217, 5 bombs as well. I don't hate Justin Steele today, but I don't know if I'll be using him much at all. We'll have to wait for the weather. Now, if the wind is starting to blow in and kind of like it was yesterday, maybe we'll talk about that. But other than that, I'm probably going to go the bats in this one over anything else. Cubs bats against Skeens, like I don't love them. Against right-handed pitching, they've had some success, but like Suzuki, I'm okay with. Dansby Swanson, I'm okay with. Paredes, I'm okay with. Nico Horner, Cody Bellinger, I'm okay with them. But Skeens is a stud. If we can get out of Skeens 4 or 5 innings and get to this bullpen that is beat up, I'm okay with some of these Cubs bats. So it'll really just depend if we have any more news that comes out from now until first pitch, that if he's going to be, if they know how many innings he's going to go this game. So that brings us to Guardians at the Royals. You've got Tanner Bibby versus Brady Singer. In his career, Bibby 79 plate appearances, 186 against Kansas City, and this is a pitcher's park. And then Brady Singer in 156 plate appearances against Cleveland in his career, giving up a 369 batting average with a only 13.5 K percentage. So Singer at home, splits-wise, 288. But against this Cleveland team, the only time he's faced them this year, 3.2 innings, 9 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and only 2 strikeouts. And that was back on June 6th at Cleveland. So I'm probably off of him just because he's not had success in his career against them. Bibby has. Splits-wise, he's already faced them 3 times this year, though. That's the problem. Bibby has faced the Royals 3 times this year, 16 innings pitched, 18 hits allowed, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 16 strikeouts. So while the strikeouts are there, he's given up a ton of earned runs. And he just faced him last start, 5 earned runs in that game. Went 5 innings, 5 earned runs with 6 Ks. They kept him the same price. I'm probably avoiding Bibby. Even though career-wise he's had success against them, probably looking at Kansas City as a stack here. Now, Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously the number one. Very, very expensive. Very expensive. Michael Massey is 2 for 5, but both of those hits are home runs. So, obviously, great numbers. Bobby Witt batting 273 with 1 home run against him as well. And then we look at the bats. Paul DeJong, if he's in there, 248 batting average, 19 bombs. Sal Perez, 266 batting average, 17 bombs. Bobby Witt Jr., 342 batting average against right-handed pitching this year, 26 home runs. Isbell, 7 bombs. Melendez, isn't Melendez out? No, Pascatino's out. Melendez, 230 batting average, 17 bombs. Got Tommy Pham, which would be a cheap option, or cheaper option, 263 batting average, 3 home runs. So really just depending. Michael Massey with 9 bombs, and he's had success against him. A Kansas City stack, I'm okay with it. Now I think everyone's going to go Perez, Melendez, Bobby Witt Jr., but you could go Bobby Witt Jr., Melendez, Massey. Like, you could find some different Kansas City stacks today and be pretty good. And then Cleveland bats against Singer. J. Ram batting 480 with 3 bombs. Take him over 1.5 bases. Take him in DFS. I love him there. Josh Naylor only batting 130, but against right-handed pitching this year, Naylor has 23 bombs, so you always want to look at that. J. Ram has 21 bombs. Will Brennan, 260 batting average, 8 home runs. Bo Naylor could be in there, 213 batting average, 9 bombs. Stephen Kwan, Noel, like, I don't mind. I think this could be a high-scoring game again. I think I'm going to fade the pitching. I'm going to go the bats. I think I like Kansas City a little bit more, but Cleveland could put up a ton of runs in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 12-plus runs in this game. So I am fading the pitching in this game for sure. St. Louis and Milwaukee, we talked about it yesterday. Loved Milwaukee as a stack, and all they did was put up runs on Monday. Now we got Aaron Savali versus Steven Matz. Steven Matz making his debut off the IL, has not pitched since April 30th. He's got a 6.18 ERA. He started in the rotation, went to the bullpen, then got hurt. Let's see. Seems like he's going to be starting here and then go to a relief role yet again. Don't know how long he's going to go into a game. Not using him whatsoever. And then Savali coming in, game log wise, coming off a great start against San Francisco, where we use him, 7 innings, 7 Ks. Splits wise, he has not faced St. Louis this year, and he's 6,300, so he's very cheap. So Savali for tournaments, I don't mind that at all. I do love a Milwaukee stack. I do not trust Steven Matz whatsoever, and then it gets to the bullpen. Milwaukee against Matz, Rhys Hoskins has 3 home runs. Going to be a cheap option there. But then you look at William Contreras batting 314 with 3 bombs, or a cheap catching option if he's in there, which he probably won't be. Eric Haase, 385 with 2 bombs. But I would look at Rhys Hoskins. I would look at Jackson Chourio, who had a grand slam, and we talked about him yesterday. I would look at him. Contreras, Willy Adames. I know he's only batting 192 against lefties, but I don't mind Willy Adames. Garrett Mitchell you could look at. Blake Perkins you could look at. I am looking at a Milwaukee stack yet again against Mats. I do not trust him. And then St. Louis bats against Savale. Have not seen him. Against right-handed pitching, though, they do well. So if you don't trust Savale, you can look at Arenado with 11 bombs, batting 282. Ivan Herrera with 300 batting average. Burleson, 305 with 18 bombs. You got Brendan Donovan, 270 batting average with 11 home runs. Lars Nootbaar, 244 batting average, 9 bombs. Like, I don't mind these. Goldie's got 16 home runs. I don't mind these guys whatsoever. So if you feel comfortable using some of those guys, I completely understand. I'm not using pitching. I'm going more of a Milwaukee stack today. But we definitely could take a look at we could look at a different direction. And if you feel comfortable with St. Louis as a stack as well, completely get that too. So I'm fading the pitching in this one, going the bats. Milwaukee first, but St. Louis behind them. I don't mind them at all. Next game, we've got New York Yankees at the Texas Rangers. You got Carlos Rodon versus Andrew Heaney. Andrew Heaney, on paper, doesn't have the best matchup. Splits-wise, he's already faced the Yankees once this year. 4.2 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, only 4 strikeouts. Facing his former team, coming off not a good start against the White Sox in 5 innings. 23.1 against Pittsburgh. Yankees don't hit lefties well this year, but they've hit him for whatever reason. And then Rodon going up against Texas. Splits-wise, he's faced him once this year, 5.2 innings, 6 Ks. We look at his splits, home games, 280. On the road is where a little bit of trouble. Tournaments, okay with Rodon. But again, this Texas team could still hit. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at Andrew Heaney. You could, I guess, throw him in tournaments just because maybe he dominates here for us. It'll really just depend. But he has not had success against him, and the strikeouts were low. Judge, Stanton, Glaber leading off. Don't mind him. Volpe kind of coming around a little bit. You've obviously got Jazz. Lefty on lefty does not matter for him. Juan Soto doesn't matter. Kind of on a struggle bus right now. Hopefully Trevino's not in there. I could definitely see him being in there, though. Trevino. But I would love Austin Wells if he's in there. A lefty on lefty matchup, I don't mind. And even Anthony Rizzo, I do not mind. Then Rodon. I guess Marcus Semien has a home run. But against left-handed pitching, Semien is one. Corey Seager batting 243 with 6 bombs. I don't mind. Wyatt Langford with 4 bombs, 253 batting average. I'm okay with that. Josh Smith batting 301 with 4 bombs. I'm okay with those guys. I don't know if I love them. I do like the Yankees as a stack more. Probably not using Heaney for anything more than a very cheap tournament option because he's 6,000. I'd rather go the Yankee stack. Rodon might be too expensive considering he's been very up and down this year. So yeah, that's kind of what I would look at. Rodon, I'm okay with. I don't love. And then before we get to the 2 LA teams, the keyword and the final one for Outlier is Outlier Final Day. All capital letters. Put Outlier Final Day. Put those 3 words. Anyone who has those 3 words will be in the running for the chance to win the last free month that we have of Outlier. And you can win again. So if you've already done it once, I can do it again for you. So all you got to do is put get your name in that hat by putting Outlier last day. Good luck to everybody. Dodgers at the Angels. We've got Walker Buehler versus Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers just got called back up. Buehler, 5.88 ERA. Has not faced the Angels this year. Has not done ideal. On the road, he's been 8.85 ERA. Not good against Baltimore. 10.3. Minus. 2.7 minus. He's been bad. I know he's coming back off the IL. Yeah. It's not been ideal for him. He's missed a couple of times to start the season. Then he missed in the between. He just hasn't had it. And then you got Reed Detmers, who got called back up. He has last pitched on June 1st. Did not do well. Now, this guy has a no-hitter, was it last year or the year before, which is always wild to see. Did not do well against Seattle. Now he's going up against a Dodgers team. I want nothing to do with Detmers. I want nothing to do with Buehler. I'm looking at the offenses on both sides, which is crazy because the Angels' offense is bad. But against Buehler, no one's hit a home run. But against right-handed pitching this year, you've got Logan O'Hoppe batting .262 with 13 bombs. You got Taylor Ward with 16 home runs. You got Mickey Moniak with .243 batting average, 12 home runs. Cheaper options, Nolan Schanuel, .253 batting average, 9 home runs. Zach Neto has 15 home runs himself. Now, if we look at the Dodgers bats here against lefty, if Austin Barnes is in there batting .371. If he's not, Will Smith will be in there batting .271 with 6 bombs. Mookie Betts batting .327 with 3 home runs. Tommy Edman, only 12 at-bats, I get that. .583. Then you got Kike Hernandez and Freddie Freeman, both have 5 home runs. Teoscar Hernandez, we love to take Teoscar against lefties, batting .287 with double-digit home runs. You've got Andy Pajes batting .337. He'd be a cheap option. And then there's always Ohtani, who's very expensive. He was $7,000 on Monday. What is he now? $7,000, which is the highest price I've ever. I don't think Aaron Judge has ever been that high. That's a wild price. Great matchup for him. Stolen base, home runs, very, very expensive if you're going to be paying, but great matchup here for him. So I'm fading the pitching. I love the Dodgers stack more, but I will have an Angels stack. Seattle, Oakland, you got Luis Castillo versus JT Ginn. Castillo, .365 batting average, coming off. He has not hit 20 in 3 starts. Splits-wise, he's already faced Oakland once this year. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. If we could get that outing right here in this massive ballpark, I would love it. Now, Oakland strikes out, I think, the 6th most out of any team. No, 7. Tampa Bay overtook them. Oakland strikes out 9.13 times per game, but at home only 8.51. So if he could still get 8 against them, I'm okay with that. 25.3 at 9,000 is a perfect price. It's what we would need. Ginn, on the other hand, hasn't really done much. This is the first start for him. Wasn't the best place to go in the ballpark. So it's a massive ballpark here. And Seattle strikes out the most out of any team. So at 5,800, I will take a chance at him. But again, Seattle's offense is really good. They just strike out 10.18 times per game. And on the road, they strike out 9.88 times per game. Their last 3, they've averaged 7. Their last 1, 8. So recently they haven't. He has not had success, but his price makes it kind of interesting at 5,800 to allow a lot of things to happen. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. If we're going with the bats in this one, over anything else, I'm okay with that. So Ginn is a right-handed pitcher. Overall, they seem to not hit righties as well, but Cal Raleigh batting .222 with 16 bombs. Polanco has 11 home runs. Arozarena has 11. Luke Raley with 15. Cheaper options, Mitch Haniger or Victor Robles could be an option for you for Seattle. I don't mind them, but I'm going to have a little bit of Ginn here in tournaments. And then if you're going to fade Castillo for whatever reason, Schumann has a home run against him. Blade has a home run against him. And then against right-handed pitching, they do hit. Brent Rooker, 24 bombs with .295 batting average. I don't mind that. Zach Gelof batting .223 does better against righties with 14 bombs. Langoliers, .227 batting average, does better against righties with 18 home runs. So I do not mind them either. It'll just depend on the lineup that comes out for Oakland. And again, this is Oakland Coliseum or whatever they're calling this trash place now. So it's a huge ballpark, and it'll depend on the ballpark factors as well. So that's why I tell you, make sure you get in the Discord, because that is when we're going to go over the ballpark factors too. Then the final game, Arizona at San Francisco. Now, this is not confirmed. Ryan Nelson is confirmed for Arizona. It is not confirmed for San Francisco. Now, he did last pitch on Wednesday, so this should be his start in the rotation. But the problem is, you see, he went 6 days here, and then he went 9 days in between. So what San Francisco does is we never know. So that's the problem. We never know what they're going to do. And that scares me because we don't know if he's actually going to be pitching. And if he was, Arizona, he's faced him twice this year, giving up 7 runs, 6 earned, only 10 strikeouts. I would look at Arizona, who hit lefties better. So in that game, if I am looking at at San Francisco bats, depends on who's the lineup that comes out, or Arizona bats, I should say. Arizona bats against a lefty, depending. Eugenio Suarez, I do not mind. Corbin Carroll, I know it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but I'm okay with that. He's starting to heat up lately. He took a long time this year. Randall Grichuk hits lefties very well this year. Josh Bell's a switch hitter, hits them well as well. So I don't mind some of those. I mean, you got Jock Peterson as well. He hits the ball the hardest on the team, but it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, so that's a little bit off. And then maybe a little bit of Perdomo against Kyle Harrison, but I don't know if it's Harrison yet. That's the problem. It is Ryan Nelson though. He has faced San Francisco twice this year. Has had success. 9.2 innings, 8 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. The problem is only 1 strikeout. That's wild. So his strikeouts have been pretty decent lately outside of the Mets with 4, but then he had that 1 strikeout against them for whatever reason. Now, this is a massive ballpark. This is a pitcher's park. So Ryan Nelson for tournaments, I'm okay with. But if you're going to fade Nelson, you want to go with San Francisco bats, maybe Matt Chapman, Elliot Ramos, Fitzgerald. You could look at Patrick Bailey a little bit, depending if he's in there, either Casey Schmidt, Lamont Wade Jr. I don't mind. But again, let's just wait to see if it is Harrison. Because if it's not and it's a right-handed pitcher, it's going to change the batters a little bit. And that is why I tell you, go to the MLB tab and go down right here to batter splits. That'll show you all of the batters on San Francisco or all the batters on Arizona that hit lefties and what they hit. Or all of the batters that hit righties and what they hit against righties. Isolated power, slugging percentage, at-bats, batting average, it's all there. So make sure you check out the batter splits when there are certain times that we don't know if Team A is going to be pitching pitcher B. We never know. So that being said, you could avoid this game too. There are other games that we could look at today that we could just avoid it and feel comfortable with it. So pitching-wise, yeah, I love Chris Sale. Very expensive, but it's got a great matchup for him. And so that's kind of what my thought process is here. Pitchers that I just have zero liking for today: Freeland, Matz, Detmers, Phillips, Walker Buehler, Cutter Crawford. I just want nothing to do with him. And then you find the value in Ginn, or you find the value in Andrew Heaney if the Yankees strike out, because for whatever reason they can't hit lefties this year. So you could be looking at Andrew Heaney and be a sneaky option there, especially at 6,000. So it'll really just depend, but weather shouldn't be a concern in that game either. So that is the breakdown. That is all of the batters, all of the hitters on the slate. It is time for Pitches Be Crazy, and then we'll do all the batters have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So number 1, we've talked about it. JT Ginn versus Seattle. Number 2 is Chris Sale versus Colorado. 3 is David Peterson versus Boston. 4 is Justin Steele versus Pittsburgh. And 5 is Kyle Freeland at Atlanta. Now, these are teams that strike out, but then you got to take into effect whether or not the pitchers are effective. Kyle Freeland against a lefty against this righty mashup, I don't know. I don't really like that. David Peterson just doesn't strike out a ton of batters, but Boston strikes out a ton. And then we don't have a lot of exposure to JT Ginn, so we don't. I mean, it's going to be a second start in his career. The first one came in Great American Small Park, so not a really good sample size. So those are the 5 pitchers. Now it is time to look at all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Today we have a ton. Some days we've had 3, some days we had 31. I don't know how many we have. Let's see how many we have today. And these can and will update once all the pitchers are confirmed. The weather is confirmed. We get closer to first pitch. Ballpark factors. All of this will update. Number 1, Aaron Judge. Number 2 is Gunnar Henderson. 3 is Cedric Mullins. 4 is Juan Soto. 5 is Bobby Witt Jr. 6 is Colton Cowser. 7, Adley Rutschman. 8, Anthony Santander. 9, Salvador Perez. 10, Alec Burleson. 11, Ryan O'Hearn. 12, Carlos Santana. 13, Michael Massey, which was a sneaky option for me. 14, William Contreras. 15, Spencer Horwitz. 16, Jackson Chourio. 17, Ramon Urias. 18, Jonah Bride. 19, Bryce Terang. And number 20, Joey Ortiz versus Steven Matz. So if you look at just the early initial ones, absolutely loves a Baltimore stack, almost an entire Baltimore stack. Loves a Milwaukee stack going up against Matz. And the two big hitters for the Yankees, Judge and Soto, for maybe the secondary stack when on Fanduel or DraftKings where you do a 5-2. It likes that. You can always add Rizzo, you can add Stanton, you can add other ones, make it a full stack as well. So those are just some early simulations, early projections, the breakdown of the slate. If you want to see even more, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Go check out everything there. Good luck today. Any questions, hit us up in the Discord. We answer them. If I can't answer something, there's always someone in there trying to help and answer for you guys as well. So good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.